Well, if you let's say theoretically your detector failed and you were dating someone and a year down the road they were like, oh yeah, I have had a nose job or lip filler, like, but you didn't notice, are you going to be like, that's it, call it off?
Well, again, it goes to the degree of what they've gotten. Some procedures are more invasive than others. Rhinoplasty, not super invasive. Lip filler, not super invasive. I can tell if a girl's had lip filler. Maybe there's some that's minimal, but like if you look at them from the side, the lip protrudes in such a way that never naturally occurs. Like if you look at a girl from the side, there's like a ridge.
The sausage lips.
Well, even if it's minimal, there's like a ridge that never naturally occurs. So lip filler is actually pretty obvious to me. But again, it's scales. Like, okay, breast implants, that's a bit more. Lipo, that's a bit more. BBL, that's going pretty far with it. And so I do think that these are probably proxy for some sort of mental illness.
But so you would immediately break up with them if you didn't know and then they told you?
Oh, so I got bamboozled.
Yes. You couldn't didn't tell and then they tell you later. Does that make sense?
Didn't tell what though?
You couldn't tell, like you didn't. I know you say you're really good at seeing it, but I'm just saying if you didn't catch it.
Do you bring that up?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, so just for the sake of
the hypothetical, is it that much of a deal breaker?
So one thing I'd like to try to avoid with these conversations is like going to like really kind of like extreme or like unrealistic scenarios. So like you can ask me like, what about this situation? So, okay, be precise. What surgeries does she have that I'm not aware of? And I've been dating her for a year.
Sometimes she got a boob job, and I know. Let's just say, but theoretically, in this hypothetical, you did not know. Would it be that much of a deal breaker? Where
how would I not know if I've been dating this girl for a year? I felt her boobs.
Did I feel
different? Doesn't feel normal.
Okay,
and the dotting on the body.
Have you felt fake boobs?
Well, yeah, but the point isn't about
normal.
the fake boobs. I just picked a random surgery. It's just a plastic surgery. You could pick anyone you like if you didn't notice.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it would be a deal breaker.
There you go. That's all I was wondering.
Yes.
That would not be a deal breaker for me.
If she bamboozled
If
you?
she lied about it, yeah, for sure. But if it was something that was so minor that it wasn't,
she giggles and like, surprise.
But you are virgin.
I feel like you're gonna have a really hard time finding a girl that isn't incredibly insecure about something. So yeah, I don't think that wouldn't bother me too much.
So I guess to answer your
question,
question,
you think it's an omission, like she was hiding it for a reason?
Yeah, if she was hiding it and she lied about it, like I said, that would be
she's
a completely
not lying about it,
situation.
she's just omitting it because perhaps she, like in Brian's case, Brian's saying, okay, I don't like this. So the response from the gal is like, okay, but what if you really like this girl? And then you found out later that she had this work done and hadn't told you about it. Let's say Brian had never asked, so he has no idea. She didn't lie to him exactly, right? She just hid it. In this case, it would be she just hid it because she knows he doesn't like it, right? That's the case.
Yeah. That's definitely
is that like an omission, really?
That's definitely a second date question for me. I usually go with that one, and then are you a virgin is usually a first date question.
That makes sense.
21.
No, I get that, but I'm not saying you specifically. I'm just saying in the case of Brian, what I'm saying is that there's an omission. So if you go for a year, right, and a girl's had a boob job and things like this, and knows that you don't like plastic surgery, that's why she omitted it. She hasn't lied to you, but she has done an omission here. Which to me would be just as good as lying, essentially, right? So you just say, look, that's dishonest, even if the intent wasn't to lie directly.
Yeah, if you've made it clear that you don't like it, for sure.
Yeah, and I guess going back to your thing, so, I mean, even going in, it's not 100% a deal breaker, like if she has fake boobs. It is like a negative mark, though. Mm-hmm. Like aesthetically, I don't like it, and then I'm gonna probably make some assumptions, whether correct or incorrect, like maybe proxy for mental illness, or she's just like, there's a degree of vanity there that I typically don't find attractive. It's not 100% a deal breaker, but it is like I am less inclined to date a woman with fake breasts.
So Brian, for you, it's a red flag for you personally. Like, let's say outside of the work.
Yeah, so it's not 100% deal breaker, but is red flag considered deal breaker, or is it just something like? Yeah, I'm proceeding cautiously.
Yeah.
I mean, for
not a deal breaker.
Some people consider red flags deal breakers, but yes, it would be a red flag. Is it? But yeah, not 100% deal breaker. But I mean, it's just not my preference. It's not my preference.
Understandable.
But like, if the girl's otherwise amazing and meets all my other criteria, I don't think it would be 100% deal breaker. But I do have a strong preference towards. I'm a natural body supremacist. Natural body supremacist, prefer natural. I'll take I flat or A cup over perfect fake titties. I did a poll on it on Twitter, actually. 80% of guys who responded to my poll said they'd prefer a girl who has A cups or who is flat over a girl who has perfect, like I said C cup fake breasts.
I feel like your demographic might be biased, though.
Yeah.
It could. Sure, it could.
It's your followers.
It also got into the Twitter algorithm.
But I mean, shouldn't it be? So if the idea here is you're kind of sampling the demographic who are in the dating market, who are young men who are giving you their preference, like, it seems like that's exactly the demographic you want to hear from, right?
But you're pulling from a religious demographic specifically.
What?
This isn't a religious demographic.
Or I guess more
whatever.
conservative. I mean, between Andrew, you're really religious, and I would say you're fairly conservative. So I'm assuming most of the people that watch you align in that camp.
Not whatever. No. Whatever.
Well, not whatever
has a
explicitly,
completely
but
different. So I would
it's a
agree with
specific
you.
following.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would agree with you on the Crucible, my channel, that probably 50-60% of people are religious. There's no doubt that that's true, but whatever's a whole different ballgame. I don't think most of the people there are religious at all.
Not specifically religious, but there's a type here. You know, the viewers are very familiar. They familiarize with his preferences, but I feel like that goes that is only limited to your followers. So they are gonna agree with his type of girl.
You'll have clips, right? And those clips will go out to millions of people, literally millions. And then you can start reading through the comments, right? And it's like there's an awful lot of men who seem to agree with the social circle that's speaking in these polls or whatever. Now, is she right? Is that astute scientific information? Well, no, right? Of course not. And nobody's saying it is. Just that I'm not sure that it's biased. I mean, that's kind of who we want to hear from, right? Is men who are in that demographic, who are in the dating demographic. That's who you would. I don't see what's biased about that.
Are you actually asking me, or you're just generally saying that?
Yeah, I'm asking you, like, what's actually biased about it? I don't know.
I think if you also polled your general community about certain viewpoints, they probably lean more conservative than liberal, so therefore they're probably going to align with more natural body types than non-natural body types.
You mean just any random community anywhere?
In whatever podcast specifically.
I mean, if you go on a female...
The problem with that is that most men lean conservative, period. Most women lean progressive. Most men lean conservative. Now, that's not saying that all women are progressives. It's not saying all men are conservatives. Just that most men lean more conservative, center-right. Most women lean center-left. You see that in their voting patterns. So wouldn't that be reflective? You're saying it's more conservative. They like natural body type. Seems like you're making the case that men generally would like a more natural body type, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even clear to me that liberal men would be more inclined to fake body types. I mean,
well, I agree. Hang on. I agree with that. But her point was to say, I think that because they lean conservative, therefore most conservative men likely would prefer to have natural body types. But if we extend that logic out, it's like, fair enough. But if most men then lean conservative, this would be most men would like natural body types, regardless of what liberal men do or don't like, right?
Yeah. Okay, we have a chat here from Jason. Yo, Jason, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Jason Castle donated $200. Ladies, listen to Buff David Bowie. He's making sense. Changing what you look like, especially to the extreme, is a mental illness. Gentlemen, not one step back.
Not one step back.
Man.
Yeah.
That's literally what's screaming.